Shaquana,
Yes,
how you doing
ma'am.
tonight?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm amazing, amazing.
That's
And we're
good.
so excited because, a lot of times people, I say this all the time, we meet people on the internet, on Instagram, on YouTube, all these devices, and we really don't know who they are. So
Right.
I'm honored to be able to share your story. And first and foremost, before I get into what I see here in your bio, I would love for you to just tell the people a little bit about this little girl that I know that's originally from Phoenix City, Alabama. Just give them a little bit of your history about who was Shaquana, the little girl.
Well, people may not realize or really believe me when I say I'm a shy person. When you first meet me, I'm shy. I'm quiet because I'm getting to know the person or the people that I'm around. But once you get to know me, I'm talkative. I'm fun. I like to laugh. Growing up, it was me and my brother Jonathan. And then my mom, she ended up having two more kids. My biological mom, that is. I'm adopted. So is my brother that's under me. And I have a sister that's deceased and a little brother. And when I tell people that my sister takes me everywhere I go, I mean my best friend. I adopted her as my sister. Not to replace my baby sister, but she's my best friend. But as a kid growing up, I was shy. I all stayed to myself. I did play with my cousins. They were my best friends growing up. You know, my grandmama didn't allow us to not be friends with each other because that's family is all you got. So you
That's
have
right.
to be friends with your family, with your cousins. And some of your cousins you just wanted to beat up sometimes. And that was me. I wanted to beat up some of my cousins, but my grandmama said, no, you beat your cousins up. I'm going to have to beat you up, wheelchair and all. And I couldn't run. So that's
So you heard Shaquana say she couldn't run. For most of you who may not know her, she's wheelchair bound. Now, Shaquana, have you been in a wheelchair all your life?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're talking about sisters, and if you could see, I have on a shirt today, it says, I'm my sister's keeper. So I think
Right.
sisterhood is so important.
Yes, ma'am.
And I think that it is really special that you adopted your best friend as your sister. That means she has taken time out to show you some characteristics that was near dear to your heart, you know. And a lot of times, family members take each other for granted, and they don't do that. So that's a wonderful thing. So let's talk about your upbringing. You said you were adopted. Did you know you were adopted all along when you were a little child?
As a little girl, no. I think I was about maybe 10, 11 years old when I found out that I was adopted. I overheard a conversation, and I can't remember who it was between, but I did hear a conversation, and that's when I found out that I was adopted. I mean, I wasn't hurt by it. I just wish my mom would have told me, hey, you know, the one that you call your sister is really your mom, your biological mom. So,
So from a child's perspective, because there may be somebody watching this who may be in that same situation. Maybe they've adopted some children,
mhm,
maybe they haven't told them yet. Do you feel as though it is easier for the child if you let them know sooner?
yes. As soon as they understand what adoption means, then yeah, that's when you should tell the child, look, baby, I'm not your biological mom. I'm not the one that had you, but I'm the one that chose you to be a part of my family.
I like that. I like that, to tell them that they've been chosen. That would make a child feel privileged and honored and loved,
Right.
and instead of making them feel rejected or like thrown away by their family. And I know different people uh, put their children up for adoption for different reasons,
Right.
and some of them are medical, some of them are emotional, some of them are for personal reasons.
Right.
So I don't know how much of the detail they share with you,
Mhm.
but do you feel as though that's information that a child needs to know too, or do you think that the details should be spared until they're adults?
I think the details, especially if they're harsh details, like if they wasn't wanted, I don't think they should ever know that. But if it's medical or they just couldn't take care of the child, then yeah, you could tell them at an appropriate age, I say when they can emotionally handle that. But I was told at a young age that my mom was a young teenager, you know, and she couldn't, you know, handle being, you know, a mom at that time, because my mom was maybe 17, 18 years old. So yeah, that's
And do you get along with your siblings,
I get
your
along with my
biological
siblings.
siblings?
Yes, ma'am.
And did they get adopted too by someone else, or did they stay with your mom?
My brother Jonathan, he got adopted by our grandmother, and my baby brother, he stayed with the biological mom. And if my sister hadn't passed, she would have been with our biological mom.
Okay. And
So
you do have a bond with your brother.
yeah, I have both my brothers, both my baby brothers.
Excellent, excellent. So now, since that time, you've grown up, you've been in a wheelchair. Can I ask you if it's, and if I ask you something personal, you can always tell me you don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
But what is it that has you wheelchair bound?
It's spinal bifida, and some people may not know what that is. But spinal bifida is where the child is born and their spine is exposed, and they have to go in and surgically put it back in place. And you got some kids that have the it's three levels. You got the ones where the kids can walk, but they have spinal bifida. Um, then you got the ones that can walk, but later on they will not be able to walk later on in life. They'll end up in a wheelchair. And then you got me that was always born.
Uh-huh. And somebody must have called us, so I'll give her a minute to go ahead and take that call. So right now, if you're just tuning in, I am speaking with
Okay.
Shaquena Harris, and she is a young lady who is a disability advocate. So far, she shared with us that she was adopted as a child, and she's telling us that the reason why she's in a wheelchair, she has spinal bifida, and she was giving you the different types of spinal bifida. Go ahead, Shaquena.
So, like I was saying, you got three types, and they have different names, but they're hard for me to pronounce. So I'm not gonna even try to mess them up. But
Okay.
the least severe severe form is the child can walk, no problems. Then you have the second where the child can walk, but later on in life, maybe with physical therapy, they might not end up in a wheelchair, but most likely they will. Then you
I
have
wish you could move that camera for IG because half of you is cut off on IG, but I don't want you to drop the phone. Yeah, just a little bit more, just a little bit. So listen, so let me ask you this. Is it curable?
no. I mean, it's not curable, but it's preventable, and you can prevent it. Once the mother finds out that she's pregnant, she has to take something called folic acid, and she does not need a prescription for it. She can go to her local pharmacy and get it, and it's on the shelf, and you can get it to prevent your child from being born with spina bifida.
So Shaquana, how old are you, if I may ask?
I'm 43.
43 years old, been in a wheelchair all your life.
Yes, ma'am.
How has that been for you? Were children mean? Because a lot of times people don't understand what people go through when they're wheelchair bound.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've always considered yourself to be disabled when you were a child, because disability to me sometimes it can be a mentality too, as well as a status. Talk to me about how other people treated you with your disability in school. Were children cruel and picking on you?
They, I've had children picked on me. I've had children actually physically bully me. I had one child come up behind me, and wheelchairs come with the handrail. So I had one child actually take my chair and dump me out my chair, and they had to call my mom to come get me so she can take me to the emergency room because they thought I had a concussion because I
Wow.
hit my head just that hard. I had two classmates physically beat me in class. The teacher didn't pay me no attention. She really didn't. look out for me or protect me. And one of the students was a guy. He sexually assaulted me.
So wait a minute. You mean to tell me that someone took advantage of you sexually because they knew that you couldn't really defend yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
In this world today, I knew we were going down the wrong path, but that's really sad. How young was you when that happened?
I was maybe 10.